actually impressed with what I've seen in this conference. Some of the sessions have really addressed the critical issues of the country. Just yesterday, I was reading in the news, and the government said, the news reports that price of medicines and medical services will go up by 150%. And we are here discussing medicine security for the country. What kind of security is that going to be? The reason is, oftentimes government make decisions without talking to the people that are involved. As we speak, I'm at the verge of doing a price increase. The common man is going to suffer for it. Government needs to be talking to people like us, talking to local manufacturers. You don't want to get, government said they want to get local production to 60%. How are you going to do that? It's not going to happen. But we are here talking about all these very important things. Look at the sentiments of the people. But is government listening? I think it's time for government to listen. If not, what we are trying to save will be lost. Because by the time the price of commodities go up because of forex, because of fuels increase and all of that, without talking to the people who are in touch with the people at the grassroots, it will be counterproductive. So I think the discussions we're having here are very important. I'm actually waiting for a communique. We're discussing some very important things, collaboration and all of that, so that the industry can grow. I don't want my company to be the only company. It's not going to work. I need more. Look, Nigeria has about 150 manufacturers from the records. India has 10,500. And we want to compete with India. We want to compete with, how is it going to happen? So I think this conference has been very good. I'm actually impressed at the attendance. I'm impressed with the communication, with the technical groups and the things I'm actually very impressed by what the sectorial arms of NAIP are doing. I listened this morning. I am glad I came for this conference. And I think these conversations need to go up to government, so that government in planning their policies will think of people like us. We need to look at what does it take to run a facility in Nigeria. We're talking about APIs. How many companies can begin to manufacture APIs and compete with China, compete with India? Most of those companies in India and China were supported by government, because government was looking at where they were going. And we have mentioned this severally here. How can we be importing starch in Nigeria with all our virgin lands where you can grow maize? If government pays attention to just starch and decides, okay, give us what it takes for the companies in Nigeria to begin to produce all the starch they need, do you know what is going to happen? Most of our young people who are idle on the street will get jobs. We're going to have plantations where maize is going to be grown. Farmer grade maize is going to be grown in different parts of the country. And as you're doing that, you employ more people, we'll begin to produce maize. And once we start doing that, we'll be able to now have organizations. I mean, we can say 2 or 3 pharmaceutical companies can come together to produce maize starch. And when we do that, other companies are going to support you. I personally, when we were talking of APIs, EMSA went into anti-malaria. I encourage other companies and say, listen, this is not the time for us to scatter ourselves. We are going to support EMSA to do anti-malarias, so that the volumes and the price will be competitive. If not, if EMSA spends all their money, do anti-malarias, and the price from China and India is still less, and we still go and buy, what are we trying to achieve? So government needs to work with us. We'll sit down, get a panel and say, these are the things we need. For instance, now, if government increases the import duties on everything, without considering that if you want to grow local manufacturing and you go and increase import duties, it's not going to work. So these are the areas. What are the kind of funding that government is going to give the pharmaceutical companies to be able to produce these things locally? But we need to sit down and talk. Government, the economic advisors need to sit down and check all the sectors. think of what you want to build, discuss with people in the sector, so they will give you their pain points. They are not here to listen to some of the things we're talking about, but if the communique comes out from here, can they send it up to government? Can government call NAIP, call NAFDAC? Let's sit down and talk about this. That's what I want them to do.